right, man, I'm back at it. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So I didn't get a chance to go out last weekend. Rained a little bit, the water was nasty. So I kind of did a turn, caught just a handful of fish, and I stopped wasting my time. So today though, man, it is crazy. Let me show you the temperature. Take a look at that. 24 degrees. Now, it's supposed to be sunny, it's supposed to be nice, visibility wise, but man, it's 24 degrees. So I'm getting out here. I just got back from a trip, a lot of travel. It is time to get back to some fishing. So I'm gonna head back out to Occoquan, and I'm not trying live today. Last couple weeks though, they were not doing well on jigs. So I'm hoping that I don't freeze my butt off, not catch any fish, and then regret doing this thing. The water's been really high. They released some out of the reservoir, so it was really silty. So I'm hoping the water's cleared up a bit. Didn't rain this week at all. Hopefully they're not releasing water today. So I'm hoping that the water will be clear, the fish will be a little more active, and we'll do some catching. So we're gonna do a couple techniques today. Depends on where the tide is. I didn't look at the tide chart. I'm terrible at doing that anyway. But if the tide's out, I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna try some casting the bridge pylons. If the tide's not out, we're gonna try to do some spider rigging and see what we can find. Either way it goes, cold, not cold, catch fish, not catch fish, I'm going fishing. I wanna say thanks to everybody for subscribing. The numbers are going up. YouTube still hadn't gotten me any commercials. I gotta figure out how I gotta get this sponsorship thing working. I can't even get mine linked to pay. So if those of you out there know a trick that I'm screwing up, I think I meet the amount of time viewed requirements and all that stuff. But for some reason, I am still not all linked up. So some of you guys that's got this figured out, if you can help me out, I'd appreciate it. Plus, I don't think I'm good enough to do that. But I would like to, if I could get some sponsorships and things like that, it'd be great. I fish with a lot of people's stuff. So I got no problem putting them on video, giving them some shout outs. Southern Crappie Pro, I'll start with you. I buy a lot of jigs from you guys. For those who've never shopped Southern Crappie Pro, they do a great job of sending your stuff pretty quickly. They got a huge selection, so I'll give those guys shout outs for free. But again, we're gonna get out. I'm hoping that we can land some big ones. I have not caught a citation size fish in a while, and I gotta tell you, I'm chomping at the bit to do that. So anyway, I'm gonna put this camera down while I'm driving. We'll see you on the river. Okay, today's video we're going to talk about fishing tidal waters. A lot of people have never fished tidal waters for freshwater fish. In fact, I've had several people ask me on my channel, hey man, what do you mean you're catching crappie in tidal waters? Well, it happens. If you look at the Occoquan, comes in, some of that water will come in from an Atlantic. By the time it gets into the Occoquan, it is fresh water. So you do have kind of a lot of crappie that hang out there. So when do you catch fish better? Is it high tide or low tide? Well, I think it depends on who you ask and where that person is fishing. So for example, if you fish the Occoquan around the boat docks, at the deepest point in high tide, that water only gets to about 19, 20 feet, right? So when the tide goes out, sometimes that water will drop 6 foot. So you might find, hey man, the water's out, I'm not catching very many at the boat dock. Well, why? Because a lot of times those crappie will migrate away from the boat docks into deeper water. So you don't catch as many up around the boat docks in low tide. But when the tide comes in, guys were like, hey, I'm killing them at the boat docks. Why? Because you got a lot more water that's hanging out around the boat docks, and the fish will migrate to the boat docks. Well, if you said now during low tide, I'm going down to the bridge where I'm not catching any around the docks, you might catch a ton of fish under the bridge pilings. Why? Because one, it's easy to cast under the pilings because the tide's out. But two, that water now has dropped down to about the 20, 23 feet. So a lot of those crappie will start to congregate around a boat, around those bridge pilings and kind of in that channel. When that water comes back in at high tide, you'll find they'll scatter out, and a lot of times they'll come back upriver and get out around the boat dock. So if you've never fished tidal waters, here's a couple things I recommend that you do. First of all, get a tide chart and understand how to read it. When's the tide in? When's it out? And as you fish it, now start charting what time of day did I fish? Was the tide low or high? Where did I catch fish? Did I catch them around the docks? Did I catch them around trees? Did I catch them around bridge pilings? And after you chart those a couple times, go back and look at the patterns. What did you use? How did you fish it? When did you fish it? High tide, low tide, and where? And what you'll find is fishing tidal waters is just like fishing any other body. You have to figure out where the fish are biting or where they're congregating to bite. And then once you figure that out, it's just like catching fish in any other pond. So I hope this helps somebody. And don't be afraid to fish tidal waters. Second fish of the day. It was good. This dude just cast right here, like over my lines, man. How disrespectful is that? First they come down here where I'm fishing. Then he literally tries to cast on top of where I'm fishing. So what's happening is the spider rig's really slow. In fact, I think I'm going to take it out for a bit, and I'm just going to go to casting. See, I'm not catching any big ones, but at least I'm catching fish. Unlike with the spider rig, where I'm not really, it's not really all that active. So today, guys, I was parked. There were some guys out there, man, who got live, and they saw my little sign in the back. I got one of those Southern Crappie Pro stickers that they send you, and it says Crappie Specialist. So they were laughing at me about seeing whether or not I'm a crappie specialist and why I got the sign and all that. Well, now they're fishing with live, and I'm fishing with artificial. But I'd love to see at the end of the day who's gonna have the goods. See, I'm just down there doing it. Just down there doing it. What I've gone to is a monkey milk. As you can see, I was fishing my pink and chartreuse. So lately, it seems that monkey milk has been kind of the ticket. So we'll put him back, see what we can find. So again, I've kind of gone away from casting underneath there. I was kind of breaking rod tips and all that stuff, and today it just, see, all I'm doing is casting underneath, letting it drop. Not starting to retrieve. In fact, I'm letting some line off because I want it to drop back there, and I retrieve it back here. see how many fish this is prone to produce. And as you can see, very slow retrieve. So really all I'm doing is making this look like a natural minnow, just kind of hanging out in their strike zone. Look how slow that retrieve is. Drop it. So I'm going to find bottom right there. So when I find bottom, I'm just going to start a slower retrieve here. And I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to leave it in that strike zone for a minute. See if that's where they are. If not, I'll bring it up a little bit. It's a really light bite today, right? So everybody's kind of a couple thumps, but for the most part, been almost a nibble. There he is. I'm not landing any big ones, but we're putting fish in the boat. Oh, we ain't getting no big ones. There he is. These are some size, I'd have a fishing show right now. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one we want right there. Not catching any big ones. That was truly a fall. Got him on the fall. Get out of so much wind and current, or am I? Kind of hard to leave if they're biting. I I'll just have to fight the wind. What I started to say I was going to do, I think I will. Well, I don't know if I will, because these little jokers keep hitting. And not a sizable fish at all. Everybody's always excited when they get the black nose. Got the black nose crappie. There he is. Boy, they nailing it now. They are just nailing it. Just nailing it. I am loving it. They're just nailing it. Again, I'm not catching any big ones, but I'm sure having fun. Just casting it underneath there, letting it drop. It's like every cast, man, a crappie. Crappie every cast. It's like a basket full of these little jokers down there. tell when he hit it. That bad boy. That was a nice fish. That's a nice one right there. about all I'm getting. I want 16-inch. There we go. Ha-ha! See, every now and again,